Alaikum Warahmatullahi Wabarakatuh. Welcome to Community for Islamic Research. Allah mentions in Surah Nahl, chapter 16, verse 36, and we certainly sent into every nation a messenger, saying, Worship Allah and avoid false deities. And among them were those whom Allah guided, and among them were those upon whom error was deservedly decreed. So proceed, that is travel, through the earth and observe how was the end of the deniers. Today's topic that we will be talking on is the prophets mentioned in the Quran. There are 25 prophets mentioned in the Quran. If you see, first one that we will be talking on is Moses, known as Moses in the Bible. Prophet Musa received the book Taurat, as mentioned in Arabic. Torah is known as Taurat, and he was sent to the Pharaoh, the tyrant Pharaoh, who considered himself as a god and expected his people to worship him along with some other statues. He is mentioned 136 times. The next prophet we'll be talking on is Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam. He is known as Khalilullah, the friend of Allah. He is mentioned 69 times in Quran. He was also given the Suhuf, scrolls, to help guide his nation to monotheism. Monotheism means to believe in one supreme God. Nuh, another one we will be talking on is Noah. He was mentioned 43 times in the Quran. Prophet Nuh preached for 950 years, and he was persecuted by his nation. First prophet to be persecuted by his nation. He built an ark, protected him from a severe flood that was afflicted on the disbelievers. And now the second, we will talk on Lot. He is mentioned 27 times. Yusuf is known as Joseph in English. He was mentioned 27 times in the Quran. Isa, Jesus, the most renowned personality, the renowned prophet in both Christianity and Islam. Isa alayhi salatu wassalam. He was mentioned 25 times in Quran. If you see, he was the son of Maryam alayhi salatu wassalam. Isa ibn Maryam Rasulullah, the son of Mary and the prophet of Allah, messenger of Allah. The miracle of his prophet was that he was born without a father. He was born without any male intervention. Contrary to the some beliefs, Jesus is not the son of God, and he was sent strictly as a messenger according to Quran. And Alhamdulillah, he is and he will be a messenger, as Allah mentioned in Surah Ikhlas, chapter 112, verse 3. Lam yalid wa lam yulad, nor he begets, nor he is begotten. Now the second, Adam, he was mentioned 25 times. Aaron was mentioned 20 times in Quran. Solomon was mentioned 17 times in Quran. Isaac was mentioned 17 times in the Quran. David, he was mentioned 16 times in the Quran. Prophet Dawood was given the Zabur, Psalms, which we read. Psalms, it is in the Old Testament, and was gifted with great knowledge, Prophet Dawood. Then Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam, Jacob, he was mentioned 16 times. Ismail, he is known as Ishmael, he was mentioned 12 times. Shoaib alayhi salatu wasalam, he was mentioned 11 times. Saleh, 9 times. Zachariah, also known as Zachariah in Bible, he was mentioned 7 times in the Quran. Hazrat Hud alayhi salatu wasalam, he was mentioned 7 times. Yahya alayhi salatu wasalam, he was mentioned 5 times. Yahya alayhi salatu wasalam is also known as John the Baptist in the Bible. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam 4 times. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam was the final prophet sent to all mankind and known as the seal of prophet. He was sent as a mercy to the people, guiding and setting the greatest example possible of how every Muslim should be. Although he wasn't directly mentioned a lot of time in the Quran, his importance is indisputable and has continued to influence and guide nations for over 1400 years. If Yunus, known as Jonah, was mentioned 4 times, Ayub, Job, was mentioned 4 times, Idris, Enoch, was mentioned twice, Eliasa, Elisha, was mentioned twice, Elias, Elijah, was mentioned twice, Zulkafil, Ezekiel, was mentioned twice in the Quran. If you will ask that why was Prophet Muhammad only mentioned 4 times, he was mentioned a lot of times in the Quran but not directly. If you read Surah Al Imran chapter 3 verse 144, Muhammad is not but a messenger, other messengers have passed on before him, so if he was to die or be killed, would you turn your back on your heels to unbelief? And he who turns back on his heels will never harm Allah at all, but Allah will reward the grateful. If you read Surah Ahzab chapter 33 verse 56, إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. Indeed, Allah confers blessing upon the Prophet, and his angels ask him to do so. O you have believed, ask Allah to confer blessings upon him, and ask Allah to grant him peace. If you read Surah Nahl chapter 16 verse 36, it is said, we certainly sent every nation a messenger, but Hazrat Muhammad ﷺ wasn't sent to a specific nation, but he was sent as the prophet of whole world, a guidance to whole world, and he is till now, as mentioned in the Michael H. Hart book. He is renowned as ranked as first most influential person in the history. Alhamdulillah. May Allah SWT guide us all and give us the right knowledge to know things. Take care, be safe. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.